I now want to turn the microphones over to Sheila Pransky, who runs Needham Opportunities, Inc., and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what this law means to local community-based organizations. Sheila?
Thank you, Tripp. I'm Sheila Pransky. I'm the Executive Director of Needham Opportunities, Inc., a small suburban affordable housing nonprofit in Needham. Scores of nonprofits such as Needham Opportunities and Habitat for Humanity play critical roles in the construction of affordable housing. The affordable housing law is vital to grassroots nonprofit organizations that are trying to create housing for our citizens with limited incomes, like many of the folks you've heard from here. In communities like Needham, all over Massachusetts, the affordable housing law makes it possible for us to build homes for those who could not otherwise afford to live in our community. People like our teachers, others working in our towns, and seniors who can no longer remain in their homes due to economic and other limitations. This is particularly true in communities like ours, Needham, in which real estate and rents are priced far above the reach of so many. When we create or advocate for new affordable housing units, we are doing it in cooperation with our communities, collaborating to benefit those working families and seniors living all over the Commonwealth. These are partnerships that work because we build supportive coalitions with our local officials and residents. Often, this local support is backed up with the commitment of local funds like community preservation or home program funds. Although 40% of all affordable housing units have been created by nonprofits and local housing agencies, most of those have been in small developments with 1, 2, or 3 affordable units at a time. Without this enabling legislation, the development of this kind of housing would not be possible. Without the affordable housing law, there is little incentive for boards of selectmen, mayors, and city councils to encourage development of affordable housing in communities like ours. Now I will turn the microphone over to Paul Guzzi of the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, who will talk about the impact this law has on the business community. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. You're probably asking, what am I doing up here? We've heard some compelling individual stories. We've heard about the importance of community. Let me give you a perspective from a business point of view. Competitiveness is critical to all of us because competitiveness drives job creation. And this economy is beginning to add jobs again. And jobs mean that we need talent. We need to attract and retain talent. And if we're to attract and retain talent, we need more housing. It's that simple. Tripp mentioned at the very beginning, almost 60,000 units have been a direct result of this law. There are another 12,000 units that are in the pipeline. Where would we be as employers, as employees, if we didn't have housing in order to accommodate talent? Housing is part of our competitive imperative. It's that simple. And it's on that basis that the Chamber is proud to be part of this coalition. Not only because it's the right thing to do, but because it significantly adds to our competitiveness. And with that, I'm happy to introduce Michael Goodman, who's a professor of public policy at UMass Dartmouth.
Thank you, Paul. I spend a lot of time studying the state economy and following housing policy and demographic trends in Massachusetts, and I'm here to reinforce some of the things that the folks who have come before me have said. This is something that is the right thing to do, supporting affordable housing in Massachusetts, but as Paul so passionately put it, it's also an issue of economic competitiveness. Here in New England, we depend on the talent that lives here, our Yankee ingenuity, our ability to be innovative. And if we don't give opportunities for our children and their children to live at a high quality of life here in Massachusetts, that's not going to be our guarantee going forward. And as we come into a very tenuous period in our own economic recovery, as we come out of a very difficult economic recession, it would be extraordinarily short-sighted and poor public policy indeed to remove the one functional tool that we have in Massachusetts to produce housing for working families and middle-income individuals. We have a very difficult time retaining and producing new people in Massachusetts, but the only thing we grow more slowly than our population here is the production of our housing units. We are tens of thousands of housing units where a normal, healthy housing market would expect us to be if we allowed housing development to occur where there was demand for it. But our archaic zoning laws and other local restrictions do not allow the market to work effectively and to meet the housing needs that are so profound in many parts of our state. So for these and the other reasons that you've heard today, I would urge you to resist efforts to undermine this important tool for allowing Massachusetts to remain a competitive and high-quality place to live, to work, and do business. It's the wrong time, it's the wrong idea, and I'm here to tell you, please oppose this effort to undermine Chapter 40B. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael and Paul. We're fortunate to have a very diverse mix of business leaders, organizations behind us. I see Tom Gretler, the head of the Progressive Business Leaders Network, here as well. He'll be testifying later this morning at the hearing, and there are many, many others. AIM, we could go on, and they're an important component of our coalition. At this point, I want to turn the microphone over to my teammate, the treasurer of our campaign, and an extremely well-known, high-profile activist in our state on behalf of seniors needing housing, the recent, I guess now, kind of retired president of the Jewish Community Housing?
Not yet.
Not quite yet.
Not yet.
Not quite yet. Anyway, we don't know what we're going to do. But with that, I'll turn it over to Alan. Good to have you here.
I will retire in August. I am the president of Jewish Community Housing for the Elderly, which is a nonprofit, non-sectarian developer, owner, and manager of over 1,000 units of affordable housing, with another 150 in the pipeline. We could not have done what we've done without 40B. We have used it 4 times in the last 15, 20 years. Each time it's a friendly 40B. We work with the cities and towns. I cannot believe the opposition to this. I cannot believe the proponents of the repeal. I cannot believe that they don't want their parents and grandparents to have a place to live when they get older. I can't believe they don't want their teachers and firemen and policemen and the home workers who take care of the elderly in their homes. I can't believe they don't want them to have a place to live. 40B has been a tool that has put Massachusetts in the vanguard. We can't let it go. I hope you will all take this message to do everything you can to defeat this referendum. I'm the treasurer. My hand is out. God bless.